Good morning, afternoon, evening. It is the 4-Digit Mania World Cup 2023. We are back. We are finally here for the qualifiers results and the round of 32 showcase. This is the order for today. This is going to take a fair amount of time because we're 40 countries to showcase. We've been working. We've been a little bit late for the showcase, but we are here finally. I am Tacho. I shall be commentating now with my Guinea Pig surprise Reaction Guinea Pig, Cryolian, how are you?
Hey, well, how's it going? I'm doing okay. It's going to be really interesting being a player and all. So this is going to be my first look into everything, especially the pool. Really excited for that.
Yeah, we were talking before the showcase, and I actually didn't know that this was your first 4DM.
Yeah, actually, there was a time when ranks leaderboards were not separated by key mode, and because of that, thanks to 7 key, I haven't really been able to get myself down to the 4-digit rank. But after that, here we are. Finally made it in.
Yeah, the old 3 digits are now 4 digits, by the way. And without further ado, we're gonna go into the qualifiers result, starting from number 40. And this is gonna be Kazakhstan. Commiserations for the countries who didn't actually qualify, and this is gonna be the first one of them. Yeah. The Mappool is hard, so congratulations for making it, for actually playing a qualifier lobby.
Yeah, definitely don't feel too discouraged that your scores are not really the best, but yeah, every iteration, every edition it has, the difficulty has been ramping up.
Yeah. Next, number 39, it's going to be Puerto Rico. Shoutouts to Sparky. Also, struggling a little bit less though. It's not straight number 39s, but commiserations for them. Good attempt.
Yeah, there are a lot more varying scores. Some you can see a little bit of a skill set preference, but unfortunately, it is still definitely not enough to qualify into the round of 32.
Number 38 might surprise you. This is South Korea. Fortunately, South Korea can still play 7 key NWC, but South Korea is going to face number 38 in this World Cup, so this is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, for a country that's been known to be extremely dominant, especially in Mania, seeing them in 38 definitely comes as a surprise. You weren't kidding when you said you'd be surprised at the results.
Yeah, number 37. I think this country has participated. No, they haven't participated in last year's iteration. It's going to be Romania. Good attempt.
Yeah, good attempt. But as usual, unfortunately, with really strict competition, just good enough sometimes might not actually be good enough.
Yep, unfortunate, but it is what it is. Number 36 is going to be Ecuador. Good attempt as well. This is the first country that has a last year placing of number 33, so just a bit short of qualifying last year, and just need a little bit more effort this year. This year is absolutely stacked, by the way. You're gonna see. This is foreshadowing.
Oh, I can already imagine.
Yeah, number 35 is gonna be the United Arab Emirates. Number 36 last year. Just a little bit of an improvement, but still needs a tiny bit more work.
Yeah, unfortunately 35 is still less than 32, which we are actually coming pretty close, but next we are going to have seat 34.
Yeah, this one might surprise you also. This is the Russian Federation. They were placing number 21st last year, I think thanks to Lurk, but Lurk now is a tester in our staff, so we're not gonna be profiting from their physicality. So just a tiny bit more trouble this year around. Better luck next time.
Yeah, Lurk had to take a step back from playing in order to map your stage 7.
Next one might surprise you as well, and right from the get-go, I want to say number 33 has an average seeding of 32.75. Number 32 has an average of 32.25. It is 0.5 difference.
Really close match between 33 and 32. Unfortunately, only one of the countries could make it through, and that will be seed 32.
Yeah, that's Well, New Zealand had a really great effort going on, especially on Rise, especially.
Yeah, I actually can see that some decent scores out there, but still a lot of the other categories, I feel kind of dragged them down a little bit too much.
Yeah, number 32 will be quite exciting, actually. It is Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, okay. It's a very new country. I don't believe they participated in. Oh wait, they have last year's 37.
Yeah, this is actually very exciting. A very exciting moment to be from Nicaragua. Last year 37, and qualifying this year, they can actually play the round 32.
But yeah, with first going up against 32nd, it's pretty much going to be a David versus Goliath battle. It's going to be really stacked. The odds are definitely stacked against them, but we'll see what they can do.
And number 31 is going to be a new country as well. And that new country is a little bit surprising this year. It's going to be Ireland. We were kind of surprised that there were not many Irish players around, but this year we've got an Irish team and they are qualifying.
Yeah, again with a new country, not a lot is known about them, so stuff can come as a surprise. Just looking at their results, actually, long note seems to be their preferred skill set. They're ranking 24th highest out of the other categories.
Yeah, I think the Rise being quite physical has a lot of teams relying on the lesser physicality required for long notes.
Yeah, I definitely can see that from the qualifiers.
Okay, number 30 is going to be Denmark. Last year's placing, number 27. By the way, the last year's placing are the qualifiers placing.
Right, understandable.
We've got Joel actually playing in Denmark. Someone quite known for their stream maps and so on. But yeah, they actually got a team this year, and yeah, pretty all-rounded overall. Yeah, all their excluding the SV category, Rise, Hybrids, and Long Notes, they just placed like 30 on all of them. So yeah, they're pretty all-rounded, I would say. Yeah, next one is gonna be Turkey. Turkey did not participate in 4DM2023 last year, so new country again, placing number 29. I think Turkey has a fair amount of physical players. Look at the Rise placing.
Yeah, look at that Cosmic Isolation, like number 15 on that. Like that is a very physical map, and yeah, they are able to play that.
Yeah, this is quite impressive and quite exciting to see a new country being that physical. Next one, number 28, is going to be Colombia. Colombia, last year placing 40. That is a huge jump to number 28. Congratulations.
Yeah, also solid scores around, and this one with SV placement of 24, highest of their entire qualifiers. So I'd say they did put some practice in it.
Yeah, they put some practice in it, and pretty all-rounded results overall. So yes, that is Colombia. Next one's gonna be Italy. They're headed by Kiraz. Shoutouts to Kiraz.
Yeah,
very physical player.
I believe is he also staffing in this 4DM2023?
I don't think so. He's a player, so he wouldn't be really staffing.
He could be commentating. I don't actually remember.
No, I don't think he's commentating. Anyways, going into the results, an interesting number 19 on hybrid, 2 minutes ago, the harder of the two hybrids, and number 19 on the release.
Yeah, like the release is actually like super tricky, and right here getting 19 is actually pretty good as well. Also, 2 places higher compared to their last iteration where they see 29 and now they get 27. So there's some improvement there.
Yeah, congratulations. Next one, number 26, gonna be Australia. Shout out to Pistachim F. Also, some other players, interestingly, IMS a very physical player. Deku, BN, by the way. Orcano, Speed Saver is good, and Fluffy GMD. Some quite seasoned players. We are seeing some renowned players already in this ranking. We're only at number 26.
Yeah, so far looking at their scores, pretty outstanding hybrid. 2 minutes Euphoria number 17, and the density LN with number 19. Also pretty good scores. Actually, their LN is looking really solid though, 20 and 19.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a little bit of an LN bias, so this is going to be interesting information for those who are going to be fighting Australia. Next one is going to be Chile. Quite stable compared to last year, 26 to 25. And look at the rise.
Ooh, 2.98 million score for the accuracy map. These are some sharpshooters here.
Yeah, that's going to be especially interesting in round 32, where this skill set is going to be entering. It's going to be very useful, actually. So the ones who are going to be fighting Chile have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, if you're going up against Chile, I think your best bet might just hit straight to the long notes. Just looking by their qualifier rank of 31 in the LN section, there's a bit of info for you.
All right, number 24 is going to be Finland. And Finland is starting to be very interesting. Look at that SV and especially accuracy, technical seeding.
All right. Probably another really scary team to go up against in the early stages. I'm seeing a little bit of similarities from with Chile though.
Yeah, they are definitely sibling countries in that regard, and you definitely have to be careful of Finland if you're finding them in round 32. Going upwards, it's gonna be Argentina. Argentina with some old school players like Alu. Very good seedings in SV and also stamina.
Yeah, so really physical stuff, but accuracy wise, actually it's not that far off compared to like Chile and oh my god, what was the last team that we just saw?
Sorry, what?
Finland. All right.
Oh, yeah,
compared to Chile and Finland, their rise, the accuracy part, the score is actually not that different. It's just a couple of thousand points of difference, but yeah.
And you're not gonna believe this is real. This is Taiwan, actually, number 17 last year. This is gonna be 22 with some staying players like P-Doc Forney, and yeah, this might be a little bit of a surprise for some, but they still have very good placements in SV. We're starting to see some of those specialist countries entering. Look at the LNs as well. There's a little bit of a bias compared to Rice.
Yeah, definitely Rice it seems that's where they fall short. But they're definitely gonna have to pick up the slack with LN's hybrids and maybe even the SV. Rice is just something that they're gonna have to steer away from.
Yeah, the thing is, Taiwan had the 2Z last year, so this might be the reason why they're losing placements.
That's true. 2Z is not here for this edition.
Yeah, but they're not shying away from SV either. Like 2Z was one of their main liners for SV, but number 12 on SV without 2Z is like really outstanding. Next one might surprise you as well. It's going to be Japan. Actually, not that much of a surprise considering their last year placing. Some of their 4 digits are quite interesting, especially in SV. That is the SV nation after all.
Yeah, even though Japan, it might not look like a threat in a couple of the other categories, but SV is something that you have to definitely watch out with them, regardless of what kind of MWC it is, be it 4-digit or actual MWC. Yeah, SV is their playground.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see them in the early game, especially, but scaling might be an issue. Next one's going to be in the top 20, Sweden with... all of those players are actually pretty well known. I think they all played in last year's edition of 4DM. They placed 14th last year, but now they're number 20. This is how scary this edition is.
Yeah, okay, really outstanding tech score right there. Stage 8 with 2.94, almost 2.95 million, already being number 6. Okay, stage 8 itself is probably like really difficult, really tricky to play, considering you're coming into stage 8 right after a really physical map where your stamina is just gone.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see the placements. Last year, Sweden was also an SV plus Rise lineup, and this year this is also very much the same to an extreme.
It's not going to be much difference from last year.
Yeah, absolutely. They're staying the same. Next one, number 19 is going to be Spain with an S. Spain with some pretty well-known players as well. Oh my god, look at that tech.
Yeah, that tech is also right after Sweden. Just a little bit worse than Sweden, but still placing number 7. Really strong showing by them.
Yeah, pretty strong. Also strong placements in SV. Being number 19 in SV is pretty much an achievement considering how hard the map is. Next one is going to be a little bit of a surprise as well. Last year's placing with number 6. Now they're number 18. I think they lost a fair amount of players from last year, especially since some of their players went into great MWC level, and some of them might have gotten skill banned actually.
Yeah, I don't remember much of I don't remember many players from Vietnam, but even with a roster like this, I do recognize Sorakun. Actually, that's pretty much the only name I recognize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all very new players, but new Vietnamese players who are placing number 18 in such a stacked environment. This is pretty exciting to see, especially in the technical, hard technical department. Number 8 is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, so far, like the 3 previous countries, they've just been like 1-digit ranking in the tech pick.
Yeah, this has been a common theme. I don't know why those countries are placing just in a row. That is very interesting to see. Oh my god, I'm looking at the stats right now, and seed number 20 as number 6 in tech. Seed number 19 was number 7 in tech, and Vietnam is number 8 in tech. Yeah, just things.
So obviously, seed 17 will be number 9 in tech.
Yeah, going upwards is going to be Poland, but no, they're going to be number 26 in tech. That is unfortunate, but Poland with some old school players like C-Tech and some newer players, but still established players like Adamello, Polenta.
Yeah, I definitely recognize C-Tech's name from really long ago. In previous, I believe he also played in like actual Mania World Cup before.
Yeah.
So yeah, really established player.
Yeah, absolutely. Very all-rounded, all things considered. I say all-rounded, looking at their physical seedings, but I think they're going to be all-rounded in the early game at least. They're not going to be able to scale, but at least in early game they're going to be a force to reckon.
Yeah, in the early game.
Yeah. Next, going to be top 16 now. We're entering the top, the high seedings of Mexico. Last year, number 20, number 16 this year. I don't actually remember last year's lineup, but I think they have skill boosted a little bit.
Yeah, going from 20 up to 16. That's Mexico as a country itself. definitely got some pretty good players. Overall, we can see a number 11 on the hybrid stage 6. And actually, long notes, really good showing there. Top 10 on both of them.
Yeah, it's actually interesting to see Mexico as a LN specialist country. You don't usually think of Mexico as an LN specialist country at all.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see what they can do later on in the bracket stages.
And oh my god, this top 15, this top 16 is gonna be honestly all over the place. I'm gonna slow down a lot because those placements are something else. Starting from number 15, could be Indonesia. This is actually shocking. This is actually astounding. Like, look at those players. Look at those players. Those players are good. Ufixel, ASCII fanboy, and so on. Those players are good. No doubts about it.
Like, for sure. That 15? 15 for Indonesia. Unheard of.
Like, sure, they lost some players, but Indonesia is still a great country in terms of Mania players, but still, number 15 from number 5 just goes to show how stacked this tournament is. And this is gonna go for every single country in this top 15. Like, you're gonna see the placings, they're all over the place. I have them in front of my eyes. I cannot believe what it is.
Well, I can't wait to see.
You cannot wait to see number 14, man. It's gonna be the United Kingdom, man. Oh my god. With such a hard liner like Hyper. Like, Hyper is good at the game, man. It's not only a Nazi player, man.
Hyper is good. Hyper is good.
Like, bruh, you've got Hyper in your lineup and you're number 20 in SV. Like, what?
Well, I would say majority of the roster from the UK, they're actually not really the same. Like, Hyper did play. I'm not too sure who else did in the last edition.
Yeah, I do think they're missing quite a bit of their lineup, which is why they might be placing lower than they wish for this year. But still, the United Kingdom, number 14.
Yeah, these scores are actually also pretty decent.
Yeah, pretty all-rounded, kind of a rice bias in some ways. And number 13 is going to be very, very shocking. But I know the reasons because I actually coached this team.
You coached them?
Well, technically yes, because I've been looking at their results, and well, the entire French team got banned because, well, we were champions last year.
Oh, right.
So we basically had to build up a lineup entirely from scratch, and this is our up-and-coming lineup with hardliners like Babybel Bleu. Sis is extremely talented in late-game Rise, and yeah, just generally a lot of newer players. Jerem Kiram, you might know for extremely good long node scores in OML 3.
Played in OML 3, and he's also playing in Mania World Cup 7 key, if I'm not mistaken. I saw him in the roster.
Yeah, I was actually expecting a way better placement from them. Like, they played really well. I was looking at their qualifier lobby and I was like thinking, yeah, they're top seed, but no, number 13. I am absolutely devastated. Oh my god. Like, this is a very all-rounded team overall. That we have everything to provide in this team, to be honest.
Yeah, just goes to show you how stacked the competition is this year. Prepare for some really, really interesting high-level matchups in the late game.
Number 12 might be even more shocking. This is the Philippines with... Oh my god, look at this lineup, and this is number 12.
Yeah, these are some names I'm very, very familiar with. Frostno, like iDirt as well. Like, these two players I know from previous tournaments as well. Like either P played in OMLN3, which I think we could call that a contribution to their to Philippines stage 5 this time, with being number 6 overall.
Yeah, I'm looking at their accuracy results, and I'm starting to get a little bit worried because depending on the country they have to face, accuracy might be an issue in round 32. So Philippines is going to be especially careful going into round 32.
Yeah, I think if they can make it past round of 16, where stuff gets a little bit more physical, I think they got this in the bag with their stage 7 being pretty good. 2.97, that could be like 990k across the board for all 3 players who played.
All right, number 11 is extremely exciting. I'm extremely excited for this country because I know a lot of those players.
Yep, definitely. ERA clan.
The ERA clan, the ERA, pretty much the ERA team. You would think that ERA is a German country, a German team, but a German clan, but I don't think so actually.
I thought ERA was an American one. Wasn't it Zenith who made that clan? I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about clans anyway. I just play for fun.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just doing this. I'm just vibing, to be honest. But look at their SVs. Punish is an especially renowned and feared player in SV.
Yes.
And
also a familiar name.
Yeah. And to think that they have the lineup, they have 2 extra players to back up Punish in this lineup to be number 7 in SV overall. This is just a very scary team in the early game. Look at their accuracy as well.
Really scary stuff there.
Number 10 is gonna be very interesting. This is Peru, and might I remind you, Peru actually faced number 3 last year and was an extremely proficient team in terms of physicality. But look at their stage 7 and stage 8.
Yeah, this
not even like top 5 at all.
Like having the advantage of physicality with them, but still not ending up somewhere like the top 5 region. One can only imagine how well the countries above Peru have performed.
Yeah, especially interesting from last year. Kamiko and Spectra were in the team last year, and they were especially shining in terms of SV, and that's what led to this seed number 10. A force to be reckoned, to be fair. Just I would be very careful if I were facing Peru, especially in round 32. Next one might also be very, very surprising. This is the United States, and look at the lineup. They're getting seed number 9 with this lineup.
Seed number 9. Last year they were first in qualifiers.
Yeah, they had a. I think a lot of players were kind of similar. I think last year's team was quite similar in a lot of aspects. But yeah, this year provides a very decent American team. But look at their placing. It's just only seed 9. That's high seed. That's not even top seed.
Although, one thing to point out, the elephant in the room, that SV score might be what have brought them down.
It's going to be a little bit of an issue. You might expect some SV bans.
Just basically getting top 10 in all 3 of the Rise qualifiers and still not getting like top seed. You just take a look at the SV and you have your reason.
Yeah, still outstanding Rise team. Look at the Rise, just wow. Anyways, next it's gonna be quite surprising as well. I told you, like, top 16 is all over the place, man. Thailand at number 8 just makes no sense to me with this lineup.
Also, look at that long note, stage 4.
Okay, well, I gotta
Number
say something about SV. Thailand last year was not good at SV. They're still not good at SV this year. But
how?
well, yes, I
Oh,
know I'm dunking on them live on stream, but this is a call for you to get better on this at SV. Just learn the skill set, man.
SV is the least physical out of every other category. You don't even get tired all that much from playing it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a chill skill set overall. Just train it. But look at that! Oh my god, look at that long notes release.
I know.
Oh
I
my
know.
god! Like I
Number
think,
one.
yeah, think like one of the carryovers from last year. Nanon Bandasi, a very scary player to be facing against.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the players in this Thailand roster is also really scary to play against, like Basic Name and How to Be Intel. I've played against both of them before, and they're definitely not someone you can take lightly.
Yeah, they're even very scary in the Southeast Asia context as a whole. So this goes to show how stacked top 8 is. And number 7 is gonna be the Netherlands.
Netherlands. Wow. Okay.
So historically, the Netherlands have kept their lineup very static throughout the years, and this year they're actually missing Narumi, but they're still number 4 in SV.
Oh yeah. Okay. With Narumi gone, they had to just pull up their pants and say, "All right, we gotta get this SB game down."
But yeah, actually, one of the issues from the Netherlands is that they were not scaling as well as they would have liked to last year. But this year they have fixed this by introducing Tyronix Fanboy. Tyronix Fanboy is one of their up-and-coming physical players in the 4-digit range at least. And this is what allowed them to not fall too far behind in terms of seedings and still get the top seed.
Yeah, for this case, SV definitely helped them preserve that top spot a little bit, because we see stuff like the Rise category with stage 7 and 8 falling a little bit short, and also with stage 6 hybrid 2 Minute Euphoria. Both of them falling into the 2-digit ranking in the qualifiers.
All right, before we go into top 6, I want to hear your prediction for top 6, because I'm very interested to see what are your thoughts about it.
I only remember like 2 countries left.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you some countries in a random order. I'm gonna start with your country, actually, Malaysia, I think. Yeah.
Malaysia, I would assume that we might get top 5. If you want like a more specific answer, I'm just gonna say we barely missed the podium with 4th, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna read a message in the chat as a substitute for randomness. China, Singapore, Malaysia, Canada, Brazil, and
Right. Okay.
Hong Kong is the remaining one.
it China?
You're gonna go for China every single time, and I'm gonna say
It'll be-
no every
it
time
will-
because it is Canada.
Jesus, okay.
And Canada was not a country that was known for their accuracy, but look at their accuracy. You're gonna see their scores, and you're gonna pull your hairs out.
Definitely actually did not see that coming. I knew they were pretty decent at accuracy, but this score is just nuts.
Yeah, nah, like, oh my god, Canada has made so much progress, and some returning players like SVP and Twitch chat, and especially the entrance of Byte. Byte is
Byte
a oh my god.
Monster, he's a monster on the court.
Just I think the entrance of Byte might have been a huge role in their seeding. And I'm gonna guess you're gonna think China is number 3, but I'm gonna say no. But who do you think between China and Singapore is gonna be number 3? It's gonna be Malaysia.
Ooh, okay, Malaysia with alright, I know these people.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you introduce Malaysia and see what are your thoughts about the results, especially that number 1 on tech.
Yeah, number 1 on tech. Yeah, that run was actually a really good run. I would say it was just the stars aligned in our favor. None of us dropped, and we got some pretty good accuracies out of it. So that's pretty much all there is to it. And also, fun fact, you might see 6 people up on this roster right here, but on the day of our qualifiers itself, there was only 5 people.
Bro, you were nerfed? This is nerfed Malaysia?
Actually, yeah. I definitely think that if we had our other player, our stage 7 might be a little bit different.
Bro.
And also the SV, actually.
Bro, you're placing top 8 and top 12 in those stages without your 6th player. I'm just speechless. Anyways, going into the top 2, drumroll, we're gonna be building up the suspense. Who do you think is number 2 actually? Between Singapore and China.
Alright, 50-50. Is it China?
And yes,
oh my god, I got it right.
And Singapore is our number 1 seed, but look at the result of China. I was reffing China earlier in the day, and I was completely speechless at their first round. I swear, they were getting, I think, at least top 3 with their first round in. That team is consistent to an extreme.
Man, this is such a scary team to go up against.
Like, bruh, Mappool is an up-and-coming player who has been improving over the years, and looking at the performance in the lobby, it's just, oh my god, what?
Man, seeing it happen live right there must have been such a huge eye-opener. Like, oh god, this team could possibly take podium spot.
Yeah, this team could possibly win the entire tournament. This is how scared I was looking at the results as a referee. And yeah, without further ado, let's go into the placements of Singapore.
Is it China? Oh, never mind. Okay.
Is it China again? Is it the other China?
Alright. Well, Singapore. Honestly, looking at this lineup, I think this is something that a lot of people would have predicted, though. Seed 1, especially with players like Rionosk, McButt. Like these two players are just so good at the game, and of course with the other teammates, I've played with OPMe before. He's pretty good at Rise, not so much on the long notes, and I'm sure other people, the other players on the roster can also hold their own in a lot of different categories. But looking right here, LN might just take a little bit of a hit, but that shouldn't really be too much cause for concern.
I want to take a moment to talk about SV in particular. Their scores in detail is basically AWD, odds, I guess, getting 994k, and the two other players getting around 975k. This is their SV lineup, man. 994 and two 975s, and their total is 2.94 million. The second SV country has 2.89.
Very, very surprising. Very. But yeah, okay. Odds definitely carried hard in the SVs. Then 994k is just pretty much so stupid.
This SV lineup is actually dumb. And I don't really have much to say at all. This top 16, this top 32 as a whole is all over the place, and I'm very excited to see it in action.
So with that, seed reveal is done. I believe we're going to be taking a very, very short break before we go into the round of 32 Mappool showcase.
Yeah, because we still have a showcase to actually chill and watch. And let me tell you, compared to last year, we are going to ramp up the difficulty substantially. The Rise is going to be much more difficult in the early game, and you might be surprised at some of the BPMs and some of the traps we're introducing in the Mappool, and also the structure as a whole will stay more or less the same, but some subtle changes might get into, and I'm going to talk about it as we're going to go into the maps in order from Rise to let me take a look at the sheet actually.
Rise to Tiebreaker.
From Rise to Tiebreaker, from Rise to Hybrid to Long Notes to SV to Tiebreaker. I believe that will be the order. I'm just going to recognize the maps on site. Yeah, in any case, while our streamer is actually preparing our first Rise map, what else do I have to say, really?
Like, there's not really much you can say. We can just only sit and watch or wait for the actual matches to happen, because that's where the real excitement is going to be.
Yeah, I don't actually know whether the challenge bracket is ready for players to actually see what the matchups are, because some of the matches might actually be very, very dangerous, actually. Like, as we are going into... as we are letting Alvin do his thing, I want to take a look at the matchups. Okay, so number 1 versus number 32 is going to be Singapore versus Nicaragua, okay? China versus Ireland. Okay. I ran out of time.
We'll see that later.
I ran the timeout. Let's go. This is gonna be bad for me. This is not gonna be full as bad for me. This is gonna be Urusai's guess difficulty and Mucus set. And this is our quote-unquote jump stream pick. This is 200 BPM, and this is a significant step up from last year. We are starting with 200 BPM, and this is not straightforward 200 BPM.
Yeah, unheard of. But as additions go on, the skill level of 4 digits being higher and higher as it keeps getting. We can't just stick with previous levels. We got to start ramping up. We can't have people getting 990Ks all the way to finals.
And you're gonna take a look at those patterns and see that they're, especially Trilly, the one-handedness in this chorus is actually incredibly chokeable. And look at this Trill. I expect a lot of chokes. I expect
Standard
a
color
lot of
drills,
chokes
yeah.
on those threads, and there are many of those threads if you know the song.
Oh man, this is just like a recipe for accuracy rush or like a 200 rush.
And yeah, I actually did this replay last night after the SOL showcase, and 200s are extremely hard to avoid. Some of the trills in the chorus are extremely hard to avoid catching 200s on. It's just so easy to trip upon.
Yeah, also with OD of 8.5, so there is a little bit of increased difficulty from that. But yeah, with the nature of how trilly the map is, yeah, as you said, sometimes 200s are just unavoidable.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get a fair amount of breaks, and this is more of a consistency pick than a strict jump stream pick. So make of that what you will. This is also 3 minutes long, so this is really putting consistency very early on in the game.
So yeah, we do see a little bit of breaks, and it just hit right back in a lot with more jump stream, pretty much the same as you saw earlier. But as you said, really a true test of consistency, and with more of those drills, yeah, you're in for a ride.
Yeah, and the ending actually gets harder if you remember how this song went, because the chorus actually gets extended here, and those patterns get a little bit denser here, precisely, I think. But yeah,
probably after that drill, yeah.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, this pick is just extremely chokeable, and I have one single advice to people who are training this pick. Play this pick once, do not touch it for the rest of the week. You're gonna mind block on it.
Alright, you heard it here first. You know what to do now. Do not practice too much.
But yeah, that is bad for me. And yeah, that's it. Next pick is going to be a little bit of an interesting compound into the general pooling philosophy. Actually, if you want to go into it, this is going to be a convert from Heavenly Spores, Commissar's Heavenly Spores, for our speed pick. And this is some Blitz Lunar, and we are already going into it kind of in a savage way. OD 8.5 streams, and this is also a significant step up from Ro32's buy at whichever rate I kind of forget, but it was almost too easy for last year, so we really wanted to correct that scale, that curve, and well, right now, it's the calm before the storm, but you're gonna see how the streams go.
Hey, we take a look at the BPM down there, 112.7. Not too sure if that's what you're gonna be playing.
Yeah, double that, and that is 224. And some of the stream runs are gonna be a little bit longer later on. Right now, this is just the calm before the storm, as I mentioned.
Yeah, you're just going to be building up your accuracy and combo here.
To 25.4 actually. I forgot the 0.7 actually, yeah. But yeah, this is one of the longer runs of streams, and this is really gonna test your stream accuracy actually. It's stream accuracy and consistency overall, just not even speed necessarily.
All right, yeah, understandable. A little bit more focus on the single streams rather than having jumps in it.
Yeah, so round 32 as a whole is going to be a test of consistency overall, and this slowdown in this technical part is it's gonna be the single part that is very, very chokeable in terms of accuracy for all countries involved. And this is why Ro32 is not a walk in the park. You still gotta play the maps.
Yeah, but this is also rather straightforward. So you can have your Rice specialist players also play this, but yeah, just watch out for that one technical section with the slowdown, because it's not all straightforward.
Yeah, Rourke, what an interesting stream pick. Yeah, in the case, we are gonna be going into what we call the quote-unquote stamina rice. And you might be thinking, but what about Rice 1? Wasn't Rice 1 jump stream stamina / consistency? This one...
yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, wasn't it? But this one is more of a technical stamina / consistency. And you're gonna see some technical stamina picks be a recurring occurrence in the map pools to come. So we wanted to test this concept in this iteration of 4-digit Mania World Cup.
Right, that's fair. You introduce something new. It's always a welcome thing.
Yeah. So so in general, stamina technical picks are gonna be, as you can see, they can be technical dumps. Technical dumps which are usually more than 3 minutes long and fairly sustained.
Yeah, also noticing quite a lot of different snap usage. There's noticed like quite a fair bit of graces early on. That there's one, and there's also more that came before that. But I can see where the technical aspect comes in.
Yeah, compared to the two last picks, the two last picks were very straightforward in snapping, which is why they were OD 8.5 rather than this one, which is OD 8, which leaves a little bit of lenience in getting your accuracy right. But still, this is extremely challenging to get good accuracy on. And
yeah, it can't go too crazy just yet.
And this might be a personal thing, but I've always thought there was such a concept as accuracy stamina. Just the fact of focusing for an entire 3 minutes and 21 seconds, just focusing on ratio alone.
Yeah, something that is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of training.
Yeah, especially when you see the snaps here. Like I'm talking about ratio, but it's also going to be your job. It's also going to be the Rice player's job to avoid any 200s in those dumps. Like 200s are very easy to catch on the OD8 on dumps, and you really want to perform those snaps as accurately as possible if you want to beat the other teams, especially if you're an underdog going against a top seed. And speaking about the mappers, I'm really not familiar with them at all. Do shows.
Yeah, I've not seen this name in I've not seen this name period. It's the first time for me.
Yeah, me neither. Just where does this map come from, to be honest? And let it be known that I did not have a significant role in map pooling myself. You can thank Chu and Demifian in the chat for those map pools, and you can ask a few questions to them if you have some. They will
direct all complaints to them.
Yeah, direct all complaints to them. They will be happy to answer your questions and feedback. and properly discard them if necessary, even. It seems that we are going still in the trend of Eternophiles. Haloquin by High 19.
Oh, High 19. Okay, very very familiar name from what was it? What was it? FFR.
FFR, Stepmania, and etc. Very
Right.
many non-Osu scenes. And
Yeah.
this is gonna be our mixed rice. Mixed rice slash technical, like we know that mixed rice and technical have a little bit of an overlap sometimes, but yeah, this is gonna be more of the the mixed rice component of this rice pool. So a little bit more of mini jack and straight snap, consistency and accuracy ratio as well.
Right. That's fair. Yeah. So far, stuff looks pretty straightforward, barring the mini jacks just a little bit, but they shouldn't really pose that much of a problem. If you're not a really proficient technical player, this one is going to give you less problems compared to Rice Free.
Yeah, still gotta be careful at the bursts that typically High 19 will be throwing at you. Like High 19 has been very known for their picks, throwing many stress patterns in bursts, especially. So you really gotta learn the map, learn the song, and learn where exactly the bursts and difficult parts are happening. So this is where training comes into play. Oh, funny
okay,
section
here
here,
is
yeah.
yeah, but very funny staircases.
Yeah, the funny staircase, and I like to call that the Guitar Hero pattern actually, because it is a
Right,
very
right.
I call
Yeah,
it the
I know
Guitar Hero
exactly. I know exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah, it is an especially recurring pattern in Guitar Hero. And also, I also did not want to skip over the trail and also the rolls here. Very interesting to act, I must say.
Very interesting. Is also very funny if you're not on the receiving end of it. If you're not on the receiving end of this map, like seeing people trying to act that staircase is just gonna be a field day.
Yeah, this ending is also really challenging to act. I'd like to call it. I don't even know if this song is actually from BMS or not, but I'd like to call it a BMS ending.
That's fair. Don't miss the final note.
In any case, the next and last right pick is going to be the technical, the strict technical pick, and this is going to be a raid. And absolutely, huge thanks to Halogen for uploading the raids for Undiscovered Colors. This is the achromatic difficulty that is actually ranked.
Ooh, all right. Shout out to Halogen.
Yeah, Halogen, also a very renowned technical mapper who has been around many scenes for many years. And
yeah, I believe I met him first time. I think it was MWC 2015. That's like that's pretty much like a lifetime ago in rhythm game years. Yeah, it's still mapping to this day, still being a really solid player, even until now.
yeah, and I want to take a look at the OD, and OD 8.5 on such a snappy and gracie map is extremely challenging to act. I was trying to act this on 1.0 for other tournaments or other purposes, and this is really hard to act. I cannot even get above 993k on 1.0, let alone 1.05.
Yeah, added dimension of difficulty. Just make the song faster.
Yeah, no, this is extremely challenging to act on. Yeah,
This is brutal. Real brutal stuff here.
yeah.
Thank you,
And
Heligen. Very nice.
yeah, very nice. And the thing is, we're not actually expecting constant scores throughout all of the Rise picks at all. Like, we might expect some lower scores, for example, on this one. We might expect, for example, an average closer to 985 or 990 if you really want to, if the players are really good. But some of the other picks, like Bad For Me or Heavenly Spores, might get some higher averages, like 990, 993, for example. But this is par for the course.
And Rise 6 is done. Is that all the Rise maps that we have?
Yeah, this is Rise 5, and this is...
5.
We only have 5 Rise maps in this pool, because we still have the SV maps. Yes, there is still SV in this tournament. You haven't played the SV qualifiers for nothing. And we are going to be going into... I don't actually know if it's the hybrid or long note. It's going to be the hybrid, the first hybrid, actually. And it's going to be Rictoy's Hotel Moonside at 1.2. And to be honest, I haven't actually seen this pick. I actually forgot to check out this pick before the showcase, but...
Alright, so we're both going to be seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, I believe that speaking for the map pools as a whole, the hybrids are not gonna be necessarily easier in terms of physicality than the Rise is. Still gonna be a fair test of physicality and a fair test of all-roundedness, so that actually. We don't want the long note players to be necessarily playing the hybrid maps. We want it to be kind of a quote-unquote wild card in strategizing.
Right, yeah, I get it. Like, the long notes are not hard enough to justify the long note players playing, but the Rise part of the map is something that might trip out the long note players a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think the long note elements of this maps are fairly straightforward. It's mostly quote unquote step mania holds mostly, and it's gonna be especially a work of coordinating the Rise next to the long notes. And this is part for the course in round 32 in the early game at least, because the long notes do have to start from somewhere.
Yeah, like so far as you said, this looks relatively straightforward. Just that you do need to be wary of the combination of long notes and Rise together.
Yeah, I may have been lying in terms of physicality. This is a fair amount easier in terms of physicality. This is 186 BPM. This is 186 BPM, and I think the most challenging aspect of this map is going to be the coordination itself.
Alright, yeah, that's fair. Also confirmed by Demi himself, more of a coordination test. Hope you enjoy.
Yep, trust the poolers. Trust the actual poolers. I'm not a pooler. I only especially helped on the SV aspect, so I can talk about the SVs, but the rest of them is going to be best directed towards Chu and Demifiend. Let's go to the second hybrid. It's going to be Super Haraguru Pop. And it's going to be mapped by Lamy. We stand Lamy, the long note player and renowned mapper in BN.
So this is a ranked map.
Yes, it's apparently ranked, and I do believe this is going to be a little bit more technical than Hotel Moonside.
Oh, we'll see about that.
I actually don't remember this pick either, to be honest.
But so far, 300 notes in, nothing really that technical except for that one mini jack.
Yeah, the burst
section
and
there.
the mini jacks, yeah. So this is the start of the technical aspects and physical aspects of this hybrid, comparatively speaking, to Hotel Moonside.
But getting into a little bit more tricky stuff right here. Okay.
Oh, the releases. Oh no, the stagger releases. No,
Staggered releases. Every non-Ellen player's worst nightmare.
No,
cannot act those.
Yeah, so I was right actually. So this contrasts Hotel Moonside by its technicality and the fact that it tests many demanding skill sets actually compared to Hotel Moonside. So we've got the consistency hybrid and we've got the technical hybrid. And this is the second hybrid, and we're only gonna have 2 hybrids in this round.
Oh, thank God. But so far, compared to the other, to like the Rise category, I don't think the hybrid maps, the songs are pretty long. Like this one's only just over 2 minutes. I don't remember how long the first hybrid was, but it didn't really seem that long as well.
Yeah, I don't actually remember the lengths. I don't have the lengths in front of my eyes, but you might notice that both of the hybrids are not necessarily Rise oriented or long note oriented at all.
Yeah,
they're both
kind of 50-50.
very balanced. They're both 50-50 actually. And I would advise organizers and coaches and captains and so on, organizing sheets and so on, to be pinpointing the first hybrid as the consistency hybrid and the second hybrid as the technical hybrid. In any case, that's all for the hybrid pool. We're going to go into the long note, starting with the release. There'll be a ballistic map. Mirror, I believe this is ranked.
I don't really follow the rank scene that much, but I'm just looking at star rating 2.74, very nice. As what you would expect from a release.
Okay, so some of the spectators might recognize this song from Cold Open Cup, but this is the highest difficulty. This is the higher difficulty of the long notes, and this is especially coordination demanding. But this is also well, this is slow coordination for now, but it is also going to be release demanding.
Yeah, so far 400 combo in. I don't really notice staggered releases. They're all pretty much their releases have another long note attached to on a different column. So right now releases is not really what you see. More, if I would say, it's probably more of a control or coordination thing.
Yeah. I think there's a general trend of tournaments going for coordination picks rather than release picks, and you're going to see this trend in 4DM as well to some extent. And we still want to have a representation of release skill sets, but release skill sets are kind of interesting to introduce in a condensed pool. At least we have learned a lot from pooling OMLN3 actually. Chu as myself were poolers in the long note tournament, so we have actually learned quite a bit in terms of long note meta and long note categorization.
Alright, that's good. Can apply that to other Mania tournaments, make better pools. Yeah, it's a good thing.
But yeah, for now you see a lot of sneaky, snappy, very 1/4-ish slow control pick, and this is it. I believe this is it for 2 minutes and 52 seconds. So consistency, as the pool said.
Yeah, but this is a different kind of consistency. It's not about like keeping accuracy. It's making sure you don't release the wrong note.
So speaking of the teams, if you provide them with this kind of pick, they will either get a lot of 200s or they might 995k this. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
know
can
some players.
definitely, I
Yeah,
can see that happening.
I can guarantee that some of the players in this tournament are going to be 995k-ing this because this is extremely easy to ratio if you know how to coordinate the fingers. I think Demifin might be able to million this.
Possible. I could see that happening. Or if not million, he could definitely come really close. Maybe sub 10.
So this is going to be the density pick, and this is a very interesting density pick from Stability and replayed by Stability himself as well. This is a netted of their. This is actually slightly remapped by themselves. Just a personal request from Stability. They wanted to fix up their chart for the tournament, and so they did.
Right, so the density happening, but actually really early on, we see quite a fair bit of different snap usage, even graces on the long note. So that is also something that the players will have to worry about.
Yeah, you see a fair amount of coordination in this beginning, but the density is going to settle in the choruses especially. And you might think that this has a little bit of crossover with Miraru Mirror, the previous long note pick, but this is faster. And the fact that this is faster tests different skill set than Miraru Mirror. Whereas LN1's going to be testing control more than this, which is going to be testing more like physicality and physicality as well with those mini jacks. You got to be taking care of those mini jacks as well. Like mini jacks also part of the long note skill set to some extent. I don't want to encourage a lot of mini jacks in those pools. I don't want to make the long note picks too physical, especially not in round 32. But well, yeah, they're there.
So with another almost 3 minutes. So yeah, the choruses it's roughly, it's pretty also a little bit straightforward. Is that sometimes with the long note streams they throw in a longer long note that you have to hold down. So that is basically you're going to be like playing 3 columns in that chorus most of the time.
Yeah, some of those mini jacks are also compounded with the long notes on the side, so it's also going to be a work of coordinating physicality while still taking care of hacking and actually hitting the long notes. That is the essence of long note density. And as we go into the last chorus, which is going to be a little bit more of the same, and just testing consistency as a whole. I think this round of 32's long note pool is especially consistency driven, because you really can't go at it much differently in early game. You're really going to be testing consistency as a whole in early game. Otherwise, people are just going to be sharp shooting it.
Yeah. At least with the top seeded teams, like round 32 might just be a consistency test all around. But actually, I would say for the lower seeded teams, like they are going to notice the difference in difficulty of different maps.
I also want to say I don't see the OD and DHP.
Yeah,
let's go to the next pick.
You don't see it, yeah.
Yeah, let's just go to the next pick. Time Traveler, Penguin's guess difficulty of Time Traveler in Alex Dunk's set. So yeah, thank you to Penguinosity, who actually fixed some snaps, I think, in this pick. And this is kind of a banger, quote-unquote, wildcard pick. This is going to be more miscellaneous in terms of testing. And this might be where you might see some amount of releases and staggers.
Yeah.
There, here we go, yeah.
Right in the intro, you already see some prime examples of it.
Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit more of a overall test, and I think the teams who are especially good on long notes might want to look into protecting this one, because this one, I think, encompasses the most long note skill sets.
Yeah, definitely agree with you right there. Because it's like it is the most LN map also.
Yeah, it is the most LNs of them all. But this pick is also 3 minutes and 5 seconds long. We only noticed very late into pooling that all of our long notes were very long, and in advance we are sorry for that, but it is in the silver lining, this is especially going to be putting a focus on consistency testing, and this might go to the advantage of some teams.
But yeah, I would say a lot of the higher seeded teams will probably look to protect this one, unless the high seeded teams also want to protect SV. I don't know, because it could be a choice if they see the qualifier scores of the teams that they're supposed to go up against, and they just look at their SV score and say, hey, this team doesn't play SV, let's protect it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about one thing. We are introducing Protect, so captains and strategizers for respective countries will want to incorporate Protects in their strategy. Just think about what your best skill set is, or what the worst skill set is in your opponent country, and just focus that as a Protect. And also got to think about backup bans as well, because if something gets protected and you wanted to ban it, and you have to think about your second ban, then it can be a headache in match.
Yeah, there's just more things you have to worry about.
So as a whole, I think the general philosophy of 4DM was just following the philosophy of MWC, actual MWC. And MWC did not have Protects, and I do believe that we are pushing for Protects this year. There's a high chance that Protects are going to go in this year for actual MWC, so we wanted to push for Protects for 4DM as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Protects are a really, really good system. Adds another layer of strategy that teams have to think about. So yeah, it's good. Nice dimension, nice new thing to see. And with that, I believe LN Pool is done.
Yes, it is 100% done, and the two remaining picks of the regular pool are going to be the most exciting part of the pool. This is going to be the SVs, and both SVs are actually custom mapped. This is going to be the first of them, and it is going to be my map of Sweet Dreams.
Alright, time to see what Hellfire Paturages has unleashed upon everyone here.
So I want to say something about first the qualifiers of 4EM. The qualifiers for SV this year was very hard, and we saw the results, and we are aware of it. And we want to kind of nerf the curve that we had in mind. So Test Flight, the qualifier of that you played last week, is going to be more or less semifinals level in this curve. So right now, Sweet Dreams is going to be more of a memorization test. Memorization oriented, at least. It has a fair amount of stutters and reading elements, but this is going to be very, very straightforward in terms of snaps. But some elements are going to require you to go into the song and play it multiple times before getting it, really. But it is, subjectively speaking, very easy to learn, in my opinion.
Yeah, just listen to the song on repeat when you go to bed. You get the rhythm in your mind, then you can just play the entire thing by like muscle memory. But is that a valid strategy? If you want to like memorize a song, you just play it while you're asleep.
I think I actually put some of the SV songs on repeat, and that actually helped me kind of better memorize an SV for a tournament. I think I used that like last year.
Well, you heard it here first. Local SV player confirms that the listen to the song when you sleep strategy is actually valid.
Hello.
Hi, Polytetral.
Oh my god, outrageous. Oh, it's outrageous.
We are currently in the showcase. Do you want to say something to the stream?
Yes, hello, I love Singapore. Bye.
We all
Nice.
love Singapore.
Yeah, let's go Singapore seed number 1. Again, huge congratulations to the Singaporean team. They are very, very up and coming, and we wish them the best of luck in this tournament. And as for this SV pick, it is sweet and simple for round 32. Just gotta start from somewhere.
Yeah, nothing too tricky, nothing too harsh to handle. Just get some practice in, and you'll be full comboing in no time.
All right, the second custom is going to be from How to Play an End. It's going to be Progress. And this is going to be Swing. And this is going to be swing-oriented reading. And I really like the judgments I got on this replay.
Oh, okay. Nice.
This is binary.
What does it say?
So this is basically Swing for the entire song. And this is going to be testing how well you can act Swing. And while reading it, it is very basically it is normalized. I think it is normalized at least. So think of that what you will. Some of the stops you might want to memorize some of the stops like in the song, but that's just about it in terms of memo elements.
All right, so swings and stops, pretty much the gist of the entire map then.
But yeah, as long as you can swing, you can ratio this map. So that's basically the idea. But if you cannot swing, you want to practice a lot to avoid getting 200s. And just ask someone to watch for your unstable rate, your hit error bar, to see if whether you're hitting late,
definitely helps.
early,
Definitely helps,
and so on. So while this is a reading oriented pick that is very sight readable, I might say, this might still require some training to get good ag on. And early on, you might want to aim for straight 995Ks if you're against a really strong SV team. And let me say that as hard as the SV pick, as the SV qualifier was, some of the teams that were getting like 920Ks in the qualifiers might be getting 995Ks on those SVs. That's how SV scale.
All right, so early stage SV. If you do extremely well on the qualifiers, you're pretty much set until like quarterfinals or semis in the actual bracket stages. You say a little bit like that.
But yeah, sweet, simple, to the point. It is basically the same thing all over again, and I do believe that the chart is mirrored, starting from the halfway point, like almost.
Very nice cat background. Thank you, How to Play Ellen.
Shout out to our cat.
Shout out to our cat. And it looks like we are done with all the categories of the pool, except for everybody's favorite, the tiebreaker.
The tiebreaker is going to be a custom tiebreaker by Eclipse, and this is also a replay from Eclipse. So true 4-digit replay here. Going to be a Camellia tiebreaker. And it's just a pretty exciting song. This is actually some New Era is actually a song I like from Camellia.
Right, we're gonna just let the Twitch viewers bask in the song.
Yeah, there's actually not that much to say about this tiebreaker. It is very cleanly divided, I think. It has a fair amount of long note coordination, for example, in this intro. going to be fairly LN coordination demanding. Afterwards, we're going to go into LN releases, and I believe the ending is going to be more physicality demanding.
Well, regardless, it is a tiebreaker. We are expected to see multiple skill sets all mashed into one hell of a map.
I just want to stay silent for this intro because it is so epic. Okay, I forgot to say one thing about the SVs. Sweet Dreams, the first SV that you saw, the memorization-oriented one, was OD 7.5. So OD 7.5, the reason why it is OD 7.5 is that it is very straightforward in snaps. So so I just wanted to just make the difference in terms of ratioing the pick. And progress, the swing SV is OD7, so it is a little bit lenient in terms of hackiness. But however, this tiebreaker is actually OD8, so I'm going to be testing a lot of finesse in terms of long note releases. So really going to be making the difference, but still it is going to also make the difference in terms of physicality. And got this technical part with some of those half Dorito releases.
Yeah, definitely a step up in difficulty, as it is with the tiebreaker for every pool. Hey, you get a break here. But there's still like graces you have to worry about. The snapping here looked a little bit funky.
Yeah, actually one interesting thing to mention is that the long notes in this tiebreaker I think are probably harder than the actual Ro32 long notes here. Yeah, by a fair margin, and also the physicality also is representative of more so round 16, almost round 16 physicality, not quite, but still. So it is to give you an idea of what round 16 physicality can be like. And here we go. Right from here to the end is a very physical gauntlet up and coming here.
Wow, that transition then going into that density picks up, physicality will be tested. If you're not tired from the earlier parts of the song, you might be right now.
Yeah, it is going to be the case right up until the end. And with that, I just want to say just thank you for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed the Mappool.
Good luck. Make sure you practice. Yeah, that's pretty much the only advice I can give.
Zion coordinates located. Sending to ship captain as soon as possible.